Shree Gurudeva Datta. Chapter 35 tells us about why women are not given an initiation of a mantra. Though it may not be relevant in the modern times, but this was what Shree Guru explained to the chaste woman when she asked him whether she could get a mantra for initiation and for her spiritual upliftment. Even though Shree Guru had said that women need to do only the service of their family because in each of the family member there resides God, so service to the family is service to God. Still, the woman was a little adamant on getting a mantra as an initiation from him. To elaborate why he did not do so, he gives us an incident of Kacha Devyani. Now, Devyani was a daughter of Shukracharya and Kacha was the son of Brihaspati. Shukracharya is the guru of the demons and he was known for his notorious activities too. One day he troubled Shiva to such an extent that Shiva powdered him and took him inside along with water. He was in Shiva's stomach for a long time, and after some time Shiva forgot about that and Shukracharya passed out through the urine of Shiva and still continued to do his notorious activities. There was a war of the gods and demons, and Shukracharya had a unique mantra with the help of which he could revive anyone who was dead back to life. This mantra was uniquely known only to Shukracharya. It was called the Sanjivani mantra. Now, there was no one who was taught this mantra because it was supposed to be very powerful. Brihaspati thought that there is no way in which we can get this mantra into our fold unless someone goes and learns a mantra from him by staying with him for a few days. No one was ready to go to Shukracharya's ashram because it was the ashram of demons. So Brihaspati suggested that his son Kacha could go in the form of a disciple and take initiation from Shukracharya. Kacha comes to Shukracharya's ashram and pleads that he wants to be his disciple and to serve him. Before Shukracharya could say anything, Devyani is so enchanted by Kacha's looks that she pleads with her father to accept him as his disciple. Now Kacha becomes his disciple, and the other disciples who are demons, they know that this is not a good design because he soon becomes a favorite of the Guru. So the other demons plan to kill Kacha and they try 2-3 futile attempts to do so. Each time when they try to kill him, Shukracharya revives him with the Sanjivani mantra at the behest of his daughter Devyani. Finally, it becomes so that these demons decide to create a ash in which the remains of Kacha could be mixed. So they burn Kacha and mix his ashes with the ash which they already have, and they mix it in the water of Shukracharya and make him drink that. Now as he drinks, he is totally unaware that it is Kacha who has gone inside his system. It is quite late in the evening and Kacha has not come back, so Devyani is a little worried as to where this young man has disappeared. She pleads with her father to find out his whereabouts, and when he, with his intuitive power, tries to find out, he realizes that Kacha is within him itself. He tells Devyani that Kacha is inside me and I cannot revive him now because if I do so with the Sanjivani mantra, he will come out bursting my stomach and that will cause my death. Devyani is very adamant. She says, you teach me the mantra, even if you fall down dead, I'll revive you back to life. Shukracharya says it is against the scriptures that mantras should be initiated into women. But she is so adamant, and with an emotional blackmail that she does on her father, she ultimately makes him relent to it. Shukracharya teaches her the mantra. Kacha is listening to this mantra inside Shukracharya's stomach. Now Devyani waits for Shukracharya to recite the mantra for reviving Kacha back to life. So this is the second time the mantra is heard by Kacha in the stomach. On the completion of the utterance of the mantra, Shukracharya's stomach bursts and out comes Kacha. Now Devyani has already learned the mantra, so she again recites it and Shukracharya is also revived back to life. Now the condition for this Sanjeevani mantra, one is that it should not be taught to a woman. So Shukracharya actually had gone against that. The second thing was that it should not be heard by 3 people at the same time. Now 3 people were already there, Kacha, Shukracharya and Devyani. So this mantra proved to be futile for Shukracharya and Devyani henceforth. But Kacha had learned this mantra very well because it was initiated and therefore he learnt it 3 times. Devyani then tells Kacha how she was worried about his disappearance, and so she says that now I am so enchanted by you and I cannot bear the separation. She pleads with him to get married to her. But Kacha says, I have come out of your father's stomach, so in a way I become your brother and it is improper for me to get married to you. Devyani gets enraged and she says, I curse you that you will not get married to anyone from your community. Kacha says it is not possible at all. The curse will be reversed to you because you have already lost the power of any mantra because of the Sanjeevani mantra being completely crossed over by you. In this way, Kacha learns this mantra, comes back to the gods, and they use this Sanjeevani mantra to revive the dead gods. So this is one instance that the Guru tells why mantras are not given to women, not for any other reason, but women are more emotional and may use it at the wrong place and the wrong time. The chaste woman then asked Shree Guru, what is the way for spiritual upliftment for women? He recommends the Somvar Vrata or the penance to be done on Mondays. This has no restriction on age or gender. He explains how this has to be done and what are the benefits of it. In a certain city, there was a king by the name of Chitravarma and his queen. Both of them had a beautiful daughter by the name of Simantini. Now Simantini was destined to have a widowhood at the age of 14. This was the only thing which was a cause of concern and worry for her parents. One day, the Rishi wife, Maitreyi, visited the king. On knowing about the problem that they had regarding Simantini, she asked them that Simantini should keep a penance on every Monday in a particular manner as what she would instruct. If she would do this for a long time, she would be given the grace of being away from the curse of widowhood. Now this was followed very religiously by Simantini. After a few years, she got married and her husband, who was also a prince of the neighboring kingdom, both of them lived happily, and one day when the prince had come to visit his in-laws' house, that is at Chitravarma's palace, the entire paraphernalia went to have a bath in the river. Simantini and Chandrangad went to have a nice play in the river. While doing so, Chandrangad got completely drowned and he was nowhere to be seen. Simantini and her attendants and the palace attendants were searching but in vain. They could not find him anywhere. There were many divers who went down, but they also could not find his body anywhere. The entire family was now in distress. There was a lot of sorrow and gloom all over the palace. Simantini cried inconsolably and said that she would commit sati. But according to the dharma, many priests told her that this was not possible because her husband's body was not found. So she continued to do her penance on every Monday with the hope that something positive would turn out. It happened once so that after 3 years, suddenly on the surface of the river, there was an appearance of a very radiant young man. This man, Simantini was quite enchanted by, and she said he looked somewhat like my husband who was drowned some years back, but I do not remember his face so clearly. Obviously, because in those days there were no photographs or portraits with the help of which they could identify that this was the husband. Now what had happened in the meantime was  had got drowned and he had gone to the serpent world, the nether world. The serpents there are considered to be wealthy because they have a lot of precious stones in the netherworld. He saw Simantini sitting very gloomy and he realized that this must be his wife, but as he could not remember her face very well, he was not sure. Simantini also looked in the direction of Chandrangad and she thought that this was the husband who had drowned in the river, but again she was confused whether it was the same person. She sent one of her attendants to speak to him and he just said one statement that I will reveal the secret in a few days. In the meantime, the kingdom of Simantini's parents were completely taken over by the relatives and they had already started squandering their wealth. After a few days, Chandragad came with the help of some serpents in the form of soldiers, got back the lost kingdom, reunited with his wife, and therefore the message that we have here is the persistent penance that she kept on every Monday brought back her husband whom she thought was dead, and she got her lost glory too. In this way, Shree Guru tries to explain the importance of vrata, that is a penance which women can do and gain whatever they want as material or spiritual happiness. The Brahmin couple prostrated at the feet of Guru and left for their further material world activities. Till then, we will keep chanting Shri Gurudeva Datta.